Hey, let me ask you something real quick. What if, seriously, what if, just 1 hour every single day, 60 minutes, could completely transform the trajectory of your life? Would you believe me? Most people won't. You know why? Because they've been fed a lie. They honestly think transformation requires some kind of miracle. They think success demands those crazy 20-hour workdays, or pure luck, or being born with a silver spoon in your mouth. But I'm here to tell you, that's absolute nonsense. It all starts with just 1 hour. That's it. Just one. 1 hour of real intention. 1 hour of actual discipline. 1 hour where you choose to work on you instead of mindlessly watching somebody else live their life on a screen. See, most people, they're busy, 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 but very few are actually growing. They scroll, scroll, scroll. They rush, rush, rush. They repeat, 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 but they never stop. And they never think. And because they don't think, they don't change. It's that simple. But you? If you're still listening right now, you're different. I can feel it. You're searching for something more. You're ready. And today, right here, right now, we're going to break down exactly how that single hour can completely reshape your habits, your income, your relationships, even your legacy. Because success isn't some happy accident that falls from the sky. It's a daily decision. And here's the beautiful part. You don't need to wait for January 1st. You don't need anybody's permission. And you definitely don't need some magical big break. All you need is 1 hour a day. Let's dive in. Take back the first hour. Let me drop something powerful on you right now. How you start your day doesn't just affect your morning. It determines how you live your life. That first hour isn't just some routine. It's a ritual. It's your window, your launch pad, your foundation for everything that follows. But what do most people do? They literally give it away. They wake up and the very first thing they do, before their feet even hit the floor, is reach for that phone. They immediately check messages. They check news. They check what everybody else is doing. But you know what they don't check? Themselves. They don't ask, what do I want today? What do I need to become? What am I actually building here? Listen to me carefully. If you don't program your mind first thing in the morning, the world will do it for you. And let me warn you, the world doesn't have your best interests at heart. Not even close. It will feed you drama, distraction, and noise until before you know it, you're just reacting to life instead of designing it. So here's my challenge to you. Take back that first hour. Make it yours. Before the emails. Before the endless scrolling. Before all the chaos hits. Get up just a little earlier. Not because it's trendy or cool, but because it's transformational. And use that hour to build you. Read 10 pages of something meaningful. Write down 3 specific things you're genuinely grateful for. Plan your day with intention. Visualize exactly what you want to achieve. Move your body. Hydrate. Sit in peaceful silence. Do the things the old version of you never had time for. Because here's the truth, my friend. If you can win that first hour, you can win your entire day. And if you win enough days, you win your life. Now, I already know what some people are thinking. But I'm not a morning person. Well, guess what? Success doesn't care. Discipline doesn't ask how you feel about it. You think the real winners of this world just leap out of bed every day surrounded by fireworks and fanfare? No. They decide. They train. They build the habit. And so can you. So starting tomorrow, not next week, not next month, tomorrow, make a new deal with yourself. Before you touch the world, touch your future. Use that first hour not to consume, but to create. Don't just wake up. Rise up. Because your future isn't sitting around waiting for you at 11 a.m. It's waiting for you at 6 a.m. So take that hour back. Build it strong. And when the rest of the day finally begins, you won't just be prepared. You'll be powerful. That's how real transformation begins. Guard the hour like treasure. Now that you've claimed that first hour, the next critical step is to guard it like the treasure it is. Because let me tell you something, people will try to steal it from you. Not with a gun or anything dramatic like that, but with a notification, a small favor, some meaningless task, a little, hey, can I just? And suddenly, poof, your precious hour is gone, vanished, given away to something that builds their life, not yours. You've got to really understand this. That hour is not free. It's not casual. It's not what you do with your leftover time. It is sacred. It is strategic. And if you don't fiercely protect it, Nobody else will. Nobody. Time is like money, but actually more dangerous to lose. You can always earn another dollar, but you will never get back that hour once it's gone. Never. So what do? We put up a fence, a strong one. We say, loud and clear, this is my hour. No calls, no emails, no mindless scrolling, no distractions of any kind. Not because we're being rude or selfish, but because we're deadly serious about our future. You've got to get serious about that hour. Like a master builder is serious about his tools. Like a farmer is serious about his soil. Because this single hour, if you use it right, will pay you back 100-fold in clarity, in skill, in real-world results, in income, in confidence, but only if you don't trade it away for crumbs. Let me say that again. Don't trade gold for crumbs. That's exactly what most people do when they say, I'll just check this one thing real quick. Let me just reply to this message. This won't take long. And before they know it, they've spent their most valuable hour just reacting to the world instead of rebuilding their world. So here's the habit you need to develop. Every single night, schedule your hour. Label it clearly. Set it in stone. No flexibility. No negotiations. Tell your family, your friends, even yourself. This is your time to grow, to think, to create, to build something meaningful. And if people don't respect that boundary, teach them to. Not with anger or drama, but with calm consistency. Because when you start valuing your time, people naturally begin to value you. So the rule is simple. If it doesn't grow you, it doesn't get your hour. Period. End of discussion. This isn't just about being productive. It's about priority. It's about saying, my future matters enough to defend it. And that first hour? That's your front line. So guard it like it's rare, because it is. It's the hour that separates the average from the excellent, the wanderer from the leader, the talker from the doer. And if you guard it today, I promise you'll celebrate it tomorrow. Direction before action. You know, it's not enough to just take the hour. And it's not enough to just guard it. You've got to know what to do with it. That's where most people go completely wrong. They're active, they're busy, they're doing things, lots of things. But the real question is, are they doing the right things? Because here's a truth bomb for you. Action without direction is just a recipe for frustration. It's like being on a treadmill, sweating, grinding, running your heart out, but going absolutely nowhere. So before you jump into your hour, before you dive into books, before you start building, before you hit play on any video, ask yourself one powerful question. Where am I going with this? That question unlocks everything. Because if you don't have clear direction, you won't have real progress. You'll move, sure, but you won't arrive anywhere meaningful. Direction is the compass. Action is the engine. And you need both to get somewhere worth going. So let's get super practical. At the very start of your hour, take just 3 minutes, literally 3, to get crystal clear. Ask yourself, what specific goal am I working toward? What particular skill am I building right now? What exactly am I trying to improve today? And most important of all, why does this matter to me personally? Write it down. Don't just keep it floating around in your head. Get it on paper. Because clarity on paper becomes focus and action in real life. Jim Rohn used to say, reasons come first, answers come second. You've got to know your deep down reason, because when you do, everything else becomes obvious. Now let me give you a serious warning. If you skip this step, if you jump straight into action without clear intention, you'll waste the most precious resource you've got, your focus. And here's what's worse. You'll confuse mere movement with actual meaning. You'll feel productive, but you'll stay stuck exactly where you are. That's why direction matters more than speed. Because it doesn't matter how fast you're going if you're heading in the completely wrong direction. So take the time to aim. Take the time to ask the right questions. Take the time to align your actions with your actual outcomes. Because a person with direction might walk slower, but they get so much further in the end. So tomorrow morning, when your hour begins, don't just start doing. Start deciding. Decide who you want to become. Decide what matters most right now. Decide which step brings you closer to the life you've been dreaming about. Because direction turns your random hour into a meaningful mission. And when you live with mission, you start walking a whole new path. And that path, clear, focused, intentional, is the only one that leads to real, lasting change. Learn for an hour, grow for a lifetime. If there's one thing I've learned in my life, it's this: success doesn't just come from doing. It comes from learning what to do. And the moment you stop learning, you stop growing. Period. Now here's the good news. Learning is actually pretty simple. It's not about going back to school. It's not about expensive programs or fancy degrees. It's about setting aside just one focused hour a day to feed your mind. That hour, that's your edge. That's your secret weapon in a world of distraction. Because when most people are watching pure nonsense, you're watching yourself grow. When they're drifting through life, you're developing skills that matter. And over time, day by day, that consistent learning starts to separate you from the crowd in ways that become impossible to ignore. Jim Rohn said it perfectly. Formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. So what exactly do you learn during that hour? You read actual books. You listen to real mentors. You study genuine success. You dig into biographies, personal development, communication, health, wealth, mindset, all the stuff that actually moves the needle in real life. Because the more you learn, the more you see. And the more you see, the better choices you naturally make. Now let me be crystal clear, this isn't passive entertainment. You're not just scrolling through random quotes and hoping something magically sticks. You're intentional. You pick up that book, that course, that notebook with purpose, and you say to yourself, this is my growth hour. And let me tell you, an hour a day adds up fast. In 1 year, that's 365 hours. That's more than 9 full-time work weeks invested directly into your own mind. You do that for a year, and you honestly won't even recognize yourself. Your language improves dramatically. Your confidence rises naturally. You speak with clarity. You think sharper. You solve problems that used to completely stop you in your tracks. Why? Because you've been stacking wisdom bit by bit, page by page, lesson by lesson, day after day after day. And the best part? Nobody can take it away from you. Nobody. Skills can be learned. Confidence can be built. Knowledge multiplies. And it all begins with that one quiet hour of focused learning. So here's your next actionable step. Pick your materials before your hour begins. Don't leave it to chance or mood. Stack 3 specific books on your desk. Queue up that valuable podcast. Open the course you've been putting off for too long. And when that hour starts, go in deep. Because every time you open your mind, you expand your future. And the person who learns daily earns continually. So don't skip this. Don't rush this. Make learning a daily habit, and you'll make success a lifestyle. 1 hour of practice beats 10 hours of theory. Let's get something straight right now. Learning is powerful, absolutely. But learning without doing is just fancy entertainment. You can read every book out there. You can watch every video online. You can listen to every podcast available. But if you never actually apply what you've learned, you're not growing at all. You're just collecting information like some kind of knowledge hoarder. See, success doesn't come from what you know. It comes from what you actually practice. Let me repeat that because it's so important. 1 hour of practice completely beats 10 hours of theory. Why? Because action is where skill is truly born. You don't become a speaker by reading about speaking. You become a speaker by speaking. You don't get fit by studying exercise routines. You get fit by exercising. You don't master anything by sitting on the sidelines. You master it by stepping onto the field. Now here's the huge mistake most people make. They wait until they feel ready. They wait until they're confident enough. They wait until everything seems perfect. But here's the truth that changes everything. Confidence doesn't come before action. Confidence comes from action. Every time you practice, you get naturally sharper. Every time you try, you get automatically better. Every time you show up and do the work, you grow up as a person. So what does this mean for your precious hour? It means that at least part of that hour should be hands-on, practical application. If you're learning to write, then write something. If you're learning to speak, practice out loud. If you're learning business, build the actual plan. Make the pitch. Take the call. If you're learning design, open the software and create. No more waiting. No more endless prepping. Just doing. Because repetition is the mother of all skill, not perfection, repetition. You don't have to get it perfectly right the first time. You just have to get it going. Then you refine it. Improve it. Polish it. That's how real professionals are actually made. And here's something else that's powerful. When you practice daily, your progress becomes visible. You can feel it happening. You can measure it improving. You start to trust yourself and your abilities. And that trust? That's the real win. Because a person who deeply trusts their own effort becomes absolutely unstoppable. So here's your challenge. Take what you learned yesterday and apply it today. Even if it's messy, even if it's small, even if it feels awkward or imperfect, just start. Because doing turns knowledge into actual power. And 1 hour of bold, focused, imperfect action can do more for your life than a lifetime of just thinking about it. Reflect, refine, repeat. You know, life doesn't magically improve just because you keep moving forward. It improves when you deliberately stop and look back with real purpose. Too many people go from one day to the next, one task to the next, one goal to the next, without ever asking the most important question: how did I actually do today? That's where the real growth lives, not just in the doing, but in the thoughtful reviewing. Jim Rohn used to say, "A life worth living is a life worth recording." And I'll add this: a life worth recording is a life that keeps improving. Now let's break this down practically. At the end of your hour, not the beginning, not later, not tomorrow, but right at the end of your hour, take just 5 minutes to honestly reflect. What specifically did I learn today? What exactly did I accomplish? Where did I struggle and why? What will I do better tomorrow? It's not complicated. It's just honest. And most people simply won't do it. Why? Because it forces them to face their own patterns. It reveals whether they're truly moving forward or just spinning in place. But here's the incredible power. Reflection creates clarity. Clarity creates improvement. And improvement creates results. Now, once you've reflected, don't stop there. Next step, refine. What can be tightened up? What should be completely removed? What could be added, improved, upgraded, or simplified? You don't need to overhaul your entire life every single week. You just need to make small, intelligent tweaks to the process, little by little. Because excellence isn't some giant leap. It's a series of small, deliberate corrections made consistently over time. Think about it like this. Commercial airplanes are actually off course about 90% of the time during a flight. But they constantly adjust. And guess what? They still land exactly where they're supposed to. How? Because they reflect, refine, and repeat their course constantly. And that's your winning formula too. Now, every hour you invest in yourself, reflect on it, refine it, and repeat it tomorrow. Just a little bit better than today. Do that for a week. You'll notice a real shift inside yourself. Do that for a month. Other people will start noticing the change in you. Do it consistently for a year. Your life will literally never be the same. Because those who merely learn from experience grow slow. But those who learn from evaluated experience, they grow fast, they grow strong, they grow wise. So don't just live your life on autopilot. Examine it. Shape it. Elevate it deliberately. Reflect. Refine. Repeat. That's how you transform from ordinary to truly exceptional. 1 hour of health a day keeps the doctor away. Let me tell you something that most people completely forget. Your body isn't just some vehicle you're driving around. It's the actual engine of your entire life. And if the engine fails, it doesn't matter how big your dreams are. It doesn't matter how clear your goals are. It doesn't even matter how much money sits in your bank account. Because when health breaks down, everything slows down with it. You see, your body and your mind are deeply connected. You can't think straight when you're chronically tired. You can't lead effectively when you're physically weak. You can't build anything meaningful when you're completely burnt out. So what do? We invest 1 hour a day in the most important machine you'll ever own, your body. Now listen, I'm not saying you need to become some kind of bodybuilder. I'm not saying you need to run marathons. But I am saying you need to move. You need to breathe deeply. You need to stretch your muscles. You need to sweat regularly. Because when you genuinely honor your health, you naturally elevate your energy. And when your energy goes up, your results go up with it. Let me say that again because it's crucial. Energy is the real fuel for achievement. Want more mental focus? Move your body. Want more drive? Sweat intentionally. Want more inner peace? Breathe deeply. And the best part? It doesn't take all day. 1 focused hour. That's it. Walk in the morning. Stretch your body. Do some yoga. Lift some weights. Or simply step outside and get the natural sunlight on your face and the fresh air in your lungs. Because here's a Jim Rohn truth. Take care of your body. It's the only place you have to live. Now let me give you a serious warning. Neglect is very quiet at first. A few skipped workouts. A few too many processed convenience meals. A few extra hours sitting in that chair, and suddenly the body starts breaking down. Not all at once, but slowly, silently, until one day the price shows up unexpectedly. In the doctor's bill, in the energy crash, in the missed opportunity you weren't strong enough to grab when it appeared. Discipline weighs ounces. Regret weighs tons. So take that hour. Protect that hour. Use it to build your physical strength, not just your mental skills. Because you can't give your best if you're constantly running on empty. You can't effectively lead others if you can barely lift yourself. And you can't live your highest purpose if you're constantly managing pain and fatigue. So starting today, not tomorrow, today, treat your health like your future literally depends on it, because it absolutely does. 1 hour a day to walk, to stretch, to properly fuel, to genuinely rest, to keep the doctor away and success close by. Build a fortune in the quiet hour. Let me tell you something truly important. Profits are better than wages. Wages make you a living, but profits? Profits make you a fortune. And to build real profits, you don't need 10 hours a day. You don't need a team. You don't even need anybody's permission. You need 1 hour, one quiet, focused hour. Now most people get home from work and they immediately shut down. They say, I've done enough today. So they sit, they scroll, they watch, and they wonder why nothing ever changes in their financial situation. But that quiet hour, right before bed, right after dinner, that's your golden opportunity. It's your space to build something that's truly yours. Not for your boss, not for your paycheck, but for your future. In that single hour, you can start your side business. You can learn a high-value skill. You can write. You can plan. You can sell. You can build. You don't need some fancy office. You don't need a perfect setup. You just need a little hunger and 1 hour that you don't mindlessly give away to the world. Now let me be completely honest with you. The results won't magically appear in a day. But that's not the goal here. The goal is momentum. 1 hour a day, 5 hours a week, 260 hours a year. That's not small. That's massive. That's a product launched. That's a brand started. That's a future created. But only if you treat that hour like the treasure it truly is. Not as time to waste, but as time to intentionally build. You don't build wealth with wishes. You build it with work. Quiet, focused, consistent work when nobody's watching you do it. And here's the beautiful part. If you do that long enough, one day you'll look up and realize something profound. That little hour built your confidence, built your income, built your independence. And it all started when you made one simple decision. To stop wasting the quiet hour and start using it to deliberately build your fortune. Relationships built 1 hour at a time. Now let's talk about something most success books completely leave out. Relationships. Because what good is a fortune? What good is a strong body, a sharp mind, a big bank account, if you don't have actual people to share it with? Success without genuine connection is empty. You don't build a good life just by building businesses or habits. You build a good life by building people. And that takes time. That takes care. That takes real presence. But here's the good news. Just like you grow wealth with 1 quiet hour, you grow relationships the exact same way, 1 hour at a time. 1 hour of real conversation. 1 hour of listening. Not just hearing, but truly listening. 1 hour of putting the phone down and looking someone in the eyes. You see, people don't really remember what you said to them. They remember how you made them feel. And they feel valued when you give them your undivided time. Now, I'm not asking for 10 hours every week. I'm not asking you to become a therapist for everyone you know. All I'm saying is, give someone in your life your full attention for just 1 hour. Your spouse, your child, your parent, your mentor, your friend. And don't just physically sit in the same room. Be there, fully there. Ask questions. Share stories. Laugh together. Or just sit quietly together, because real presence is powerful. Let me tell you what naturally happens when you do this consistently. Trust starts to grow. Walls begin to fall. Love multiplies. Connection deepens. It doesn't take a fancy dinner or an expensive trip. It takes 1 hour of your heart with no distractions. And I'll say this plainly. The people who know how to build great relationships, they always win in the long run. Because in the storms of life, and they will come, money won't hold your hand. Success won't hug you, but relationships will. So schedule that hour. Make it intentional. Because if you don't invest in people, you'll wake up one day surrounded by plenty of things, but feeling completely alone. And here's the truth. A rich life is measured in memories, not just milestones. And memories are made in moments. Moments like this. Moments that begin with just 1 hour. So the next time you think about success, remember this. Don't just build your future. Build your people. And do it 1 hour at a time. Stack your hours, stack your future. You've heard it before. Success is built one step at a time. Well, I'll say it a little differently. Success is built 1 hour at a time. 1 hour of discipline. 1 hour of learning. 1 hour of building. 1 hour of investing in your mind, your body, your future. Now here's the big problem. Most people severely underestimate what 1 hour a day can actually do. They say, it's just an hour. What real difference could it possibly make? Let me show you the math that changes everything. 1 hour a day is 7 hours every week. That's over 300 hours per year. That's more than 7 full-time work weeks. Now ask yourself honestly, what could you do with 7 entire work weeks focused only on your growth? You could write a book, learn a high-value skill, build a business, transform your health, master your mindset, or even completely rebuild your life. But you don't do it in some frantic rush. You do it by steadily stacking the hours, one on top of another. Each one building on the last, brick by brick, quiet, steady, strong. That's how a future is actually built. Not in a sudden burst of energy, but in consistent, intentional effort. Now here's the secret most people miss. Small disciplines don't stay small. They expand. They multiply. They shape who you fundamentally become. Every time you show up for that hour, you're casting a vote for your future. You're saying, I'm not wasting my life. I'm not waiting for luck. I'm building something that truly matters. And that decision, made daily, creates momentum. It creates confidence. It creates tangible results. Because when you add up the hours, you add up the progress. And when you add up the progress, you start genuinely changing your identity. You transform from someone who passively waits to someone who actively builds. Now listen, there will be days you miss it. That's okay. You're human. But don't let a missed hour turn into a missed week, or a missed month, or a missed year. Always come back. Get back to stacking, because time is passing either way. And one day, the question won't be, did you dream big enough? It'll be, did you use your hours wisely? So stack them. Protect them. And one day you'll look up and realize you didn't just change your habits. You changed your entire life. When 1 hour turns into a new you. You started with just 1 hour. 1 hour of learning. 1 hour of building. 1 hour of reflecting. 1 hour for your health. 1 hour for your future. At first, it felt so small, almost invisible, like nothing was really happening. But day by day, hour by hour, something profound was happening. You were becoming someone new. Not overnight. Not by accident. But by deliberate decision. Because here's a truth you can absolutely count on. You don't change your life in one dramatic leap. You change your life one consistent hour at a time. The hour you showed up when it wasn't easy. The hour you chose growth over comfort. The hour you practiced instead of postponed. The hour you listened, loved, focused, created. And those hours? They did something powerful. They literally rewired your mind. They reshaped your habits. They rebuilt your confidence. 1 hour at a time, you started to believe in yourself again. You began to trust your word. You proved to yourself that discipline isn't just some word people throw around. It's a lifestyle. And the best part? You didn't need to change everything. You just needed to change one thing: how you use your time. That was the turning point. Because if you can control just 1 hour, you can eventually control your day. And if you can control your day, you can shape your future. So here's what I want you to remember. Success is not luck. It's not mystery. It's not magic. It's discipline applied daily. And that discipline, it doesn't take everything you've got. It just takes 1 hour every single day, without fail, without excuses. And one day you'll look in the mirror and realize you didn't just change your schedule. You changed your very identity. You became the kind of person who shows up, who follows through, who lives intentionally, who walks in purpose, who builds with wisdom. And that is the new you, all from 1 hour. So keep it up. Stay consistent. Protect the hour. Respect the process. Because it's not just how you spend your time, it's how you shape your life. Start today, not tomorrow. Now you've heard it all. The habits, the hour, the truth. So what's next? I'll tell you exactly what. Start today, not tomorrow. Because tomorrow is just a promise. Today is a decision. Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for the right mood. Don't wait for the new year or Monday or some perfect moment that never actually shows up. Just start. Pick 1 hour. Claim it. Schedule it. Protect it like your future depends on it. Because it does. You don't have to be great right away. You don't have to have all the answers. You just have to be willing. Willing to show up. Remember this. Change doesn't happen when you know what to do. Change happens when you do what you know. You've got the map now. You've got the steps. You've got the power. So don't walk away from this video just feeling temporarily inspired. Walk away activated. Decide right now, today, what hour will you take back? What will you build? Who will you become? Because if you give 1 hour a day to growth, to purpose. Because if you give 1 hour a day to growth, to purpose, to vision, to health, to people, to your future, 1 year from now, you'll be living a life you once only imagined. So start today, not because it's easy, but because it's worth it. 1 hour, 1 decision, 1 new you. Let that be your story. Look, I'm not asking you to change everything overnight. I'm not asking for perfection. I'm just asking for 1 hour. 1 hour where you decide that your future is worth more than your comfort. 1 hour where you choose growth over entertainment. 1 hour that says, I am more than what I've been settling for. And here's the beautiful truth. That 1 hour is already there, waiting for you to claim it. It's been there all along. Maybe it's early morning before everyone wakes up. Maybe it's lunch hour when others are scrolling mindlessly. Maybe it's that quiet space after dinner before bed. The hour doesn't matter. Your decision matters. Because right now, as you're listening to this, you're standing at a crossroads. One path leads to more of the same. More comfort, more familiar patterns, more wishing things were different. The other path? It starts with just 60 minutes. 60 minutes that say, I deserve more. 60 minutes that say, I can build something better. 60 minutes that say, my dreams aren't just dreams, they're plans in motion. So what's it gonna be? Will you keep doing what you've always done, getting what you've always gotten? Or will you take back 1 hour and start building the life that's been waiting for you? The choice is yours. But remember this, a year from now, you'll wish you had started today. So don't wait. Don't hesitate. Don't overthink it. Take the hour. Change your life. Starting now.